This is Dick Irvin, sports director of CFCF Radio in Montreal, with the pregame show on this Expos broadcast of the Expos Atlanta Braves doubleheader, which will come your way with Dave Van Horn and Duke Snider from the Olympic Stadium in Montreal. This morning, all of the people connected with the Expos and everyone connected with sport of any kind in Montreal and indeed in Canada were shocked and saddened by the news of the sudden death of Russ Taylor, currently the Expos Director of Communications, and for the first 8 seasons of the Expos, their play-by-play broadcaster on radio, along with Dave Van Horn and latterly Duke Snider as well. Here at CFCF Radio, the archives contain many moments that Russ shared with all of us, and the Expos broadcast crew have requested that we play a few of those moments for you now. In the broadcasting business in Montreal, we always referred to Russ Taylor as the old pro. His association with CFCF goes back into the early 50s and before, perhaps. His love of sport goes back much further than that. One of his earliest jobs was as the radio technician at the Montreal Forum, and it was there he heard a broadcaster from the Maritimes doing an amateur game. A few years later, he recommended that same broadcaster to those handling Canadians' broadcasts, and that is how Danny Gallivan came to Montreal. Russ was the morning sportscaster for many years on CFCF Radio, and when television arrived, he became part of that scene too. But first and foremost, Russ's love was baseball. When they were looking for a place in which to play Major League Baseball in Montreal, it was Russ Taylor who told Warren Giles and John McHale about Jerry Park. He was with them the first time they walked into the park. He was there the first and last times the Expos played there. He was the play-by-play man alongside Dave Van Horn and latterly Duke Snider from the first game through to the end of last season when he became the Director of Communications for the ball club. Russ loved Jerry Park. He loved the broadcasts, and he loved baseball. And he was one of the broadcasters at a microphone when Hank Aaron hit one of his record-setting home runs.
Hard hit drive deep into center field. That ball is going, gone. Home run by Hank Aaron. He now needs 17. A 3-run blast as the Atlanta Braves take a 7-1 lead.
Well, Russ, like everybody else, could get excited when Hank Aaron hit a home run, but not the way Russ Taylor could get excited when the Expos hit a home run, especially if it was a grand slam.
The pitch to Bailey. Hard hit ball deep into left field. Going way back is Aaron. That ball is gone. A grand slam home run for Bob Bailey on the first pitch. And the Expos are back in the game.
Russ was one of the few homegrown play-by-play men in baseball. He loved the life, he loved the travels, he loved sitting around talking baseball, playing trivia, and he loved the Expos.
The 2-0. Hard hit ball deep into left field. That ball is going. It is gone. We've got a tie ball game. Bob Bailey has just hit it out. Expos 5, the Dodgers 5. What a poke by Bob Bailey. A dramatic 9th inning home run. His 22nd of the year. For Bob Bailey, 5 RBIs. A standing ovation here at Jerry Park. What a clout by Beats into the bleachers. 0-2. Brewer is ready. The pitch. Day, ground ball right side, base hit. The Expos win by a score of 6-5. Boots Day with a pinch hit single.
The last time Russ Taylor worked on an Expos broadcast, 2 nights ago, and the Expos defeated the Philadelphia Phillies 13-0. Perhaps, if you want to look at it that way, a fitting end to Russ's broadcasting career. Those of us who knew him always felt that when he became the announcer for Montreal's Major League Baseball team, it proved there was some justice in the world after all. Today was Russ Taylor's birthday.
1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, sharp grounder, Wills has it, bobbles it, throw to first, in time! He did it! A no-hitter! A no-hitter! A no-hitter for Bill Stoneman!
Well, Russ Taylor took off immediately, and Russ, this is quite a historic night, and you had an opportunity to talk with Bill Stoneman?
Yes, I did. Honest to goodness, I was standing by the Expos dugout. I didn't want to put a jinx on them or anything. I was standing in the crowd, and to hear the crowd cheering with every pitch was really something to hear down there. And as soon as Maury Wills made that final put-out, bobbled the ball slightly and threw over to Ty Klein at first base, I dashed out onto the field, followed Bill Stoneman into the dugout, and I recorded the following interview with him. Here I am with Bill Stoneman. He has just pitched a no-hit, no-run game. Bill, how do you feel?
I feel great. It's the greatest thing yet.
What were your feelings when you let that last pitch go to Darren Johnson?
Well, I thought he was looking for it, and he was, and it just happened to be hitting the right place.
Maury knocked it down. My heart went right in my mouth.
Maury did a beautiful job. He's great. He's the greatest.
Bill, did you realize you had a no-hitter going?
I realized it.
From where? All along?
Oh, I would say maybe from the third or fourth.
What were your feelings as you started the bottom half of the ninth inning? The fans gave you a standing ovation here.
It just weakened me a little bit. I never had anything like that, and I just couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it.
Bill, have you ever pitched a no-hitter before?
Never. This is it.
You know, you pitched a great game in Chicago last week until the team got into a little trouble. Oh, Rusty Staub has just emptied a can of beer all over you, Bill.
That's all right. That's all right. He can do that every time we win a game.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much, Russ.
The 1-1. Here's a high fly ball into short right field near the line. Staub is under it. Let's see whether he can make the throw. Here comes the throw to the plate. They got him! At the plate, a terrific throw by Rusty Staub. Oh, man, what a throw! A standing ovation for Rusty Staub as they got Cleon Jones at the plate. The crowd is up yelling. Staub has made a magnificent throw.
Well, Russ, a combination of things. Really, when I made the throw, I kind of, overextended myself, and I guess my pants were a little too tight, and I tore them a little bit. And I've also had a little trouble with my stomach, so I just, I went inside, and, as nature calls sometimes, I just told the umpire, said, I've got to go change my pants. And when I went inside, I just, had to do my little thing there, and so it took me a little while to get back out.
Okay, Rusty, thanks very much, and congratulations once again.
Russ, that's an all-timer.
I've been speaking with Rusty Staub. Now, stay tuned for the post-game scoreboard show with Dave Van Horn coming up in just 1 minute.
Play-by-play account of this game is strictly prohibited without the express of the Montreal Expos Baseball Club Limited. Dave exclusively on CFCF. That's
Did he give me the cue yet?